Hi, I'm Annabel Gray, and I'm a senior product designer on the UX paper cuts team. And today I'm going to walk through what I'm going to call streamlining your workflow. Um, this is just a few things I picked up over the last few weeks being on this new team where I've been opening a lot more merge requests and reviewing a lot more. And a lot of these things that I'm about to talk about, you might already know about. But I feel like every time I bring these things up, there's at least one person who's like, wow, I didn't know that we could do that. So this is just a way that you can incorporate maybe some new things into your daily workflow that might help you use GitLab more efficiently. Okay, so the first one is quick actions. This is something that you probably already know about, but if you go to the documentation page, you can see that we have like this insane list. It's so long of all the quick actions you could ever hope for, and they're scoped to different issuables. So, oh, we even have them for work items now. But the way I've been using them for the most part has been on issues, merge requests, and epics. And to give an example of how that might work is, so this is just an open merge request, and what I almost always use them for every single day is if I'm reviewing it, I'll say something like, looks good, author, sparkles. And then you can just chain as many as you think are necessary. So all in one comment, you can leave your comment, you can approve it, you can remove yourself as a reviewer, and you don't always have to type your name. A lot of these quick commands will, quick actions will take the keyword me, so that'll unassign yourself. Depending on your workflow, you might also want to unsubscribe from the entire merge request so you don't keep seeing emails. And if you click the preview button, you'll see, I just noticed this too, this needs to be fixed. So UX paper cuts can fix the spacing here, but it'll tell you all the things that'll happen as soon as you comment. And then you comment, it applies those. You can see the sidebar is updated and the activity note has been updated too. Another time that you might feel chaining them is necessary. And this is something I do a lot too, but on old issues that I'm looking through, I'll say something like, looks like this has already been fixed, and then attach a screenshot of the fix. And then you can close the issue via quick action as well. There is this comment and close button, but I don't know why I always use it. I don't know if it's new or something, but if you use it like that, that will go ahead and close the issue as well. You can also chain these in your merge request description or your issue description, or I'm assuming epic as well. Basically, every time you see this quick action, you can start adding all the things that you want. So the way I've been doing this is every single time I paste the same thing into my description template. It adds all the labels I need for that thing, for that merge request. It adds the milestone. And then I use my own markdown table because it's pre-filled with the headers, and I don't like the space here, so I just remove it. Anyway, that will also, I don't think the preview works here, it doesn't. But if you apply all of these in your description, it will also apply them in the merge request itself. Another way you can do this is if you open your merge request and then just type all these in a comment straight away, which brings me to my next point. This is a new feature that was recently added that I mentioned on what's happening in GitLab. We were wondering about how to name it. I'm going to keep calling it its original name because it already exists in the product, but we have a new feature and it's called saved replies. So saved replies is another comment box, and it does take quick actions, even though it doesn't say that. You can find your saved replies by going to preferences and then click saved replies right here. These can be used across all comment boxes within GitLab for now. And to take a look at my personal ones, I have my labels that I apply to all my merge requests. I have my approve message, and I have my assign reviewer. And then as an example, I also added conventional comment saved replies. If you're familiar with conventional comments, it's just a way to help structure your merge request review. You have certain feedback and you want to make sure that it's got that theme and there's no ambiguity about how your comment is going to be taken. You can add a conventional comment, and it's usually styled in a specific way, and it looks like that. So instead of typing it, you can just use it. I think I have, yeah, so you'll find your saved reply option right here on the comment box. And oh, how about I look at this one then, actually. Okay, so these are all mine. You can search for the correct one. If you want to pick a suggestion, you can just click it and it inserts it into your field. The future of this feature, so it's called saved replies right now. I believe that we're going to be calling it comment templates because it allows for a little bit more feature enhancements. Like right now I have this approve merge request. This is pretty much the exact same thing I say to every single person when I approve their merge request. But what I'd love to do in the future is be able to just have a variable right here. So it might be author, and then it would immediately, change that author variable to the author of the merge request. And then you can continue to edit it or do whatever you need here. I think if there's anything else for saved replies. Other feature enhancements might include categories. So if, for example, you just have a ton of saved replies, it might be useful if they were scoped to certain issuables. You probably don't want conventional comments to be on issues. So, you're not going to use conventional comments when you're posting a comment on an issue. So maybe if they were scoped to that issue, you're able to select where you actually want those saved replies to show up. We could do that. I would also really love, I don't know if this is way out of scope, but I would really love to see it in like the new merge request description form so that you could post an entire template of your own, basically. I usually delete and add different things to the description template. So if I was able to just post that every single time, it would be really handy. Editing the template is the next thing I was going to talk about, actually, anyway. So as you know, when you're creating a merge request in GitLab, you're always presented with the same description template. And it looks something like this. Something I've noticed lately is when you're getting your UX review or front-end review is that, everyone is very good at reviewing, and they'll notice things that also look broken or still look broken in your merge request. But it's not something that you were trying to fix in this specific MR. So what I've been doing lately for certain merge requests is we have this field that says, what does this MR do and why? I've been liking to do as well, like, what does this MR not do? And it just kind of gets ahead of all of the questions that are going to come up right away. Like, hey, did you know that the border radius is still broken here? And it's like, yes, but this MR is just moving a feature to another spot. I agree it needs to be fixed, but not here. So it helps kind of scope the merge requests down, keeps them small and focused on what we're actually accomplishing. It also kind of helps answer the question, is this better than how it used to be? Like, the current flow looks like this. Is this better? Even if it's just a tiny bit better, it's probably something that we want to do. And that kind of aligns with our GitLab value or theme, which is boring solutions. So what are the smallest changes we can make? There are tons of changes we should make probably, but right now we're focusing on this, smaller one. And then one other thing I just learned, and I posted yesterday to Valerie and Sasha, we have in our code review guidelines this little section right here that says, if the merge request is trivial to review, for example, fixing a typo or a tiny refactor, you can skip the reviewer step and go directly to a maintainer. So I've been opening quite a few that are just tiny changes, maybe a color change or removing a border somewhere. You don't necessarily need to go through the full review breakdown where you have a reviewer and then you have to wait, 6 hours for that to happen, and then the maintainer, and then, the turnaround is a lot longer. So if you have a tiny MR, just consider going straight to a maintainer. And I do mean just a tiny one. So that's something that could be helpful. Yeah, that's my whole streamlined workflow tips.
Thanks, Annabelle. I like the tip to add a sort of what this merge request does not do. That is something that I'm going to steal and apply to a couple of my pending items out right now. Does anyone have any questions or comments they want to mention before I get into the questions in the agenda doc? All right, Itka, I think you've got the first question here.
Sure. I really love this feature. Ever since I reviewed the merge request, I've been kind of waiting to use it. I just have this one question, like, is there a plan to allow creating a saved reply without leaving the page? Just like we create labels from the dropdown.
Not that I know of, but I don't think that the feature necessarily has like a structured plan in place. So
Okay.
for feature requests, like I say it's planned, but like the variables and maybe changing the scope of a certain save reply to a specific issuable, I don't think those are actually planned. They're just ideas or enhancements. So I think that's a really good idea. So if you haven't already, maybe open an issue. And there is a feedback issue for the feature that I will find, and it might be a good place to add that there too, unless you already have.
I did create the issue, so I'll just add the link here. Thanks for the reply.
Thanks. And Dan's got a comment that's read only here, but I think it's very funny to mention that if you've written the same comment 5 times a week, you could start auto suggesting those for saved replies.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And also for saved replies, it would be really cool if we were able to work a saved reply into a quick action. So if you typed like / saved reply, and then it would preload all of those options in the little drop down that shows up, and then you could select it. That way you don't ever have to use your mouse while you're already kind of in the input. That part's a little trickier because right now our / commands don't replace the text. You can still see, / whatever, and then it's got all the text there. Whereas the templates, saved replies, do completely replace that. So that's a little trickier, but it would be another cool flow to make it, keep you a keyboard user instead of always grabbing the mouse.
Are there any more questions or comments here? If not, I think we can stop the recording and give everyone a little bit of their time back here today.